is our topic of discussion today. I'm just going to be discussing my personal experience, my opinions about the way they created it, the artistic side, as well as a viewing side, as an receiving it entertainment wise, and my own opinions about just how they the lines, all the things, all the artistic value of it. And I just hope you enjoy, and let's just get into it. Okay, I have equipment now. Like, I have legit birthday microphone. Like, you can hear my dryer right now. That's how good this microphone is. I have, like, what is this called? A pop filter. I have a pop filter on my microphone. You just heard my slipper hit the ground because I dropped it off my foot. I feel like I need to turn this microphone down a little bit. See, you heard me like touch it. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's not so loud. I don't know. You can hear my dryer right now. That's crazy. I mean, the dryer's not like that far away, but okay. It's not that far away, but you can hear me touching paper. I'm just touching this little paper, like the instruction manual. I can hear it. That's crazy. I guess I never had a microphone in when I made podcasts in the past. So, yeah, I think you just heard me swallow. And then my microphone is like changing colors, bro. Like, it's like green. It's like that. It changes colors. Gosh, do I have to make a video podcast now because of this? I don't know. It means I have to look cute. I know different podcasters that don't always look cute on their podcast, but it's changing colors. It's like pink and filtering to blue and green all at the same time. I wish you could see it. Okay, on the Georgia D Come Talk With Me Twitter, I'm going to post this. A video of this, like a GIF. It is so cute. I can't get over it. This was a birthday gift from my husband for this amazing equipment, and he got me 2 microphones, and one is more of like a handheld, you can hold it, and then the one that I'm using right now is on a stand, like on the table right now, like the ones you see in all the like professional podcasters, but it also can be on like a boom swing or whatever. I think that's what it's called. A boom arm stand. So, yes. Like, those are the ones that swing, you know, like that podcasters use. Yeah. Crazy. I am just so stoked about, I got close to the microphone and I can hear it. That's so crazy. This microphone is so good. It is so good. Oh my gosh, y'all. I hope you're not just so bored of this, but I am not. But this microphone is incredible. Goodness. I just can't stop looking at it, and I wish you could look at it too, but I don't know if you would be as excited about it as I am. I just want to keep talking, but I feel like I'm not even saying anything. I'm not really saying anything, but I just love talking in it. Okay, I need to stop. I'm not going to stop the podcast, of course, but I'm just so stoked. I'm sorry about the dryer because I can hear it in the recording. Sadly, I have to dry our clothes, otherwise they're going to stink and I have to wash them again. You know the drill. So, yes, welcome to today's podcast. I have not podcasted in a while. I think it was like, of course I have to yawn, September 7th. And it is now September, like, what is it? I'm not wearing my watch because I took it off already for the night. I don't know what the date is, y'all, but, the 30th. Today's the 30th, September 30th. So, It's been a minute, and I got this microphone for my birthday, so shortly after the 7th, and we were sick for weeks. I'm pretty sure we had COVID, but when we went in to get tested, I had like strep throat symptoms, like a scratchy throat, sneezing, coughing, headache. Is that it? I feel like that's like it. But Caleb had body aches, mostly a sore throat, and I can tell when I am facing the microphone and then I look away. Weird. Okay, I'm being weird. But it sounds so different. Creepy. You could do like ASMR on this so well. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Is that demonic? Is ASMR bad? I don't really know. Maybe I should do a podcast on that. I need to do more research because I don't really know. I might do a podcast on that. To be continued. So, yes, I was sick for weeks. I think I got sick like around the 11th or 12th or 13th, and then I just am like, I'm not like fully over it. I still have like a little bit of a runny nose, and then my throat's like kind of just not swollen anymore, like just not swollen. I think it was swollen yesterday. It's kind of been going back and forth because Caleb is still sick, so then we'll accidentally drink from his cup or his water bottle, or Everest will, and then he'll start getting sick and coughing, and we just kind of relapse. We've been relapsing a lot with the sickness. So anywho, let's get into today's podcast. I think I'm going to watch the live action Little Mermaid, because I had a friend talk to me, actually my sister talked to me about, one of my sisters, about the movie and how they loved it and how it's like either people like hate it or love it. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna grab my coffee here, and okay, I have to vent for 1 second. Okay. We live in a small town, right? And it's seasonal. Everything is seasonal. So the coffee shop that is in our town is so cute, so good. It's the best. It's better than Starbucks, Scooters, all the other coffee shops in town. This coffee shop takes a cake, right? And it's right in our town. And it's coming to the end of the season. All the shops and stores and restaurants are closing. Well, the coffee shop closes tomorrow. It's the last day. And my husband got me a pumpkin muffin that they have there. So good. And then the coffee, I feel like I want to get like 2 coffees tomorrow, like one for tomorrow, and then save it and get one for the next day, because it's going to be so sad. And it's going to be amazing when you can have a coffee and the coffee shop's closed. Am I crazy? Maybe. This just proves that we need to get an espresso machine. And yeah, we just need an espresso machine so that we can make our own coffee, because we are spending way too much money and I'm oversharing now. So, yeah, we just need to get an espresso machine because we love this coffee and I can make it myself. I can learn how to do this. Anyway, okay, so yes, I'm gonna grab my coffee and set up the movie, and I'll be right back. Okay, so before I start, I am noticing that there's a lot of other like live action Disney movies. So maybe I'll do a series or like talk about this a little bit in the future, like do other live action ones, because I feel like these can be kind of controversial for a lot of people. They like throw random things that are not like the regular Disney movie at all, and they make stuff up or whatever. So, and Disney's just kind of whack right now in general. So, Yeah, you heard me put my drink down. Crazy. I probably shouldn't have put it down so much, but I barely set it down. I'm telling you, this microphone is crazy. Okay, it sounds so good. It's so crisp. I cannot. Oh, thank you, Caleb. Thank you. Woo. Okay. Let's start and and just start talking about it. I don't know what to expect. I have heard a few things about this that what are the warnings? Gosh, what do the warnings say? Oh, I missed it. Should go back. Action, peril, some scary images. I don't know what the other thing was. I mean, it is Disney, so it can't be that bad. I think what I'm gonna do is kind of like what I did with the Republican debate, is I'm going to watch a little bit, as you can hear in the background. I'm gonna watch it for a little bit, and kind of when I have something I want to talk about, I'm just gonna start talking about it, and I'll come back. So I'll be right back. Also, this movie is like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I do not know how long this is gonna be, but I don't think I've ever had podcasts that is 2 hours and 20 minutes. I know people do. I know my husband listens to people that have podcasts for like 3 hours, which is insane to me. But the reason I did talk to him about this, I was like, people that have 3-hour podcasts are people that have podcasts with other people. And I don't always have, I can't always record my podcast with people late at night. So I don't always have the opportunity to do a podcast for 3 hours, which I would love to, honestly. Now with this mic, oh my gosh, it's so good. Freaking out, just freaking out still. Okay, okay. First 8.5 minutes, I'm in, and Eric is really cute, and he's really nice already, which is cool, and stopping them from like harpooning mermaids and stuff. He's sweet, seems sweet, and the opening scene, like the CGI is kind of like, I'm being picky. Like, if I think about myself doing something like this, no way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no. The CGI is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe Disney's just not used to doing CGI. You can like tell it's CGI. It's not like real looking. It looks more not real. I don't know. So I'm being picky with that, but it's still pretty. The colors are like really bright. Like, I noticed that right away, and it's cool. Like, I love the shots that they're taking, and like the spinning, circling around. That's really, really cool. I really like that. What else? Oh, the mermaids coming in, like, it looks kind of cartoon, not gonna lie. Like, the mermaid's like swimming in or whatever, in the opening scene. I don't know why it kind of bothers me, like why it looks so cartoon-ish, but I don't know how you would make it not, honestly. I feel like they can do that these days, like make CGI look not cartoon. So this one kind of looks cartoon, and then their bodies, like, something about like their costume on them mixed into their tail just kind of looks weird. But I'm being picky here, so I don't have to be picky, but I'm kind of being like, well, it looks a little cartoon, but it's still really good so far. And Zeus is really cool, like interesting. I really like his character already. And they kind of did the intro because I've heard, that they do, like, it's back to the Greek mythology that the dad was with the mom, had sex with the mom all in all the 7 seas or whatever, and that's why all the daughters are all different races. I don't know that I love that because it's not realistic in that sense. Whereas like in the Mermaid, the original Disney Mermaid, like they had the same mom, so they would all be kind of similar, like that makes more sense. But I guess if you're going based on the Greek mythology, okay, I guess it's okay, whatever. But it's not like, oh, that's amazing. I don't really feel like, oh, that's amazing. It's a little kind of confusing. It doesn't really line up with the original Mermaid. They're kind of going off of something else and not the original Mermaid, which is fine. Do whatever you want, but like, it's a little confusing. You know what I mean? If you know the story of Little Mermaid, they're kind of like one-offing. They're going in this weird direction, kind of, but I understand they're trying to be inclusive, which is fine. I'm not like it's fine, and it's cool to see that they're representing everybody as a mermaid, and that's kind of cute. I really do like that. And I like the mermaid that they picked already. Like I just like her character already. Like she's really cute, and I like her curiosity. That's totally Little Mermaid. And Flounder, I don't know. I think I'm just not used to. I think I need a moment to like. It's only 8 minutes and 20 seconds in. So I'm not really used to like the real like fish. It's a live action, so it should be real. But the fish looks really real, like Flounder and Sebastian. So I feel like I'm not used to that yet, but I think I need more time to like get used to it and to watch, and then I'll be like into it. But at first I keep thinking of the Disney one, and I'm like, oh, because Little Mermaid was my favorite movie my entire life, and I would walk around the house going like that Little Mermaid song or whatever. I was like baby, and I would walk around the house singing that song, I guess. And my parents would like wrote it down in my baby book, and like that was like this was like my movie that I loved growing up. So it's like kind of near and dear to my heart because it's always been my favorite Disney movie ever. So yeah. And I'm at the part where she sees the ships, like the abandoned, like the ships that have sunk, the sunken ships, and she found Eric's telescope. Telescope? Yeah, that's what it is. Telescope. I was thinking kaleidoscope, but it's not that. Telescope. I don't know why that word sounds funny to me, but it does. Anyways, I'm going to continue. Okay, where to start? The shark, I kind of ran into the shark scene, and the shark looks really good. I feel like it looks way less cartoon than what I was talking about a second ago with all the fish and the mermaids and everything. Looks really, really good. The shark was awesome. And very realistic, very good. It was fun to watch that scene. Very much like the movie where she traps him. And when she is talking to Scuttle, that was really, really cute. He comes down into the water and talks to her, which is very different than the regular movie. I feel like I'm going to be comparing the movies the whole time, which that's the only thing I know to do anyways, because that's the original and it's the real one anyway. But this one is really cool to see their spin of it. And but Scuttle goes down into the water to talk to her. which is creative, and I kind of like that a little bit more than the regular movie. But it makes sense that she would go above ground, above the water, I mean. But it's cool in the movie that they have Scuttle go beneath the water and talk to her and Flounder. And I love that first interaction with her and Scuttle chit-chatting about the dinglehopper and the pipe. And he didn't really get to the pipe because he ran into Sebastian. And that whole interaction is super cute. And how she's late to the big silver moon, or I don't know what it was. I forget what it is. The coral sun or coral thing. And then now I'm at the scene with Ursula. And it's kind of weird that they're painting like a white person because everyone else is not white, but now they're painting a white person as like the evil person. It's kind of weird, not gonna lie, but it is what it is. And I haven't really fully seen her yet, so it's just she's just talking about how she wanted to go and she wasn't invited, but she's like evil, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, she just sang like the all iconic Disney song, the Mermaid song, Part of Your World. And sorry, I burped. You probably heard it. Stupid mic. I mean, no, I love this mic. It's not stupid. It's just amazing. Anyways. I finished my coffee, dang it. Yeah, she sang the song, but I wanted to point out, like, I love her fin, like her tail fin, like it's not like one fin like you see on a dolphin or a shark or something. They made it where it's like, I don't know, multiple streamer fin. I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of like floating behind her more so than like a paddle like you see with fish. But I don't know. I kind of like it with the shots. It's really cute. It looks more like it's just floating behind her besides like the part where her legs are in the fin part, the body part. But the little part behind it, the fin that's supposed to be, I'm saying the same words, that's supposed to like swish or whatever, I don't know, the ankle where the feet go in, whatever, I don't know. That part just kind of like wades behind her, you know? I don't know, or it looks like that. But I really like it. I don't know, it's really cute. It's really pretty. And I kind of like this mermaid. She's so cute. And I'm like starting to like her already, and I think I'm only like 20 minutes into it. Wow, I'm already almost 21 minutes into it. That was my hand on this leather seat. Okay, so I didn't fart. Golly, if I had to fart, you would hear it. I can't fart when I podcast. Let's see. Really cute. Loving it. Yeah. Okay, so the next scene was Ariel. Well, when like she got in trouble with her dad, you know, that scene, and then she runs away to her cave. Or we already talked about that. So then she went and she saw Eric on the ship, and they were celebrating because it was his birthday. That was a really cute scene. I really liked that. I liked the way they portrayed that. Like tossing him up on their shoulders. Super, super cute. And she's watching him and totally falling in love with him. That was my hand on the leather seat again. Just saying. Yeah. And, yeah, she's watching him, falling in love with him as she looks at him. So cute. That was my hand on the seat, I promise. And then the storm comes in. She helps the dog. That was really cute. I really liked that. She like pushed Max forward underneath the water so that he could get up on the boat. So super, super cute. I love that addition and she saved Eric. What didn't really make sense, kind of like, wouldn't the people on the boat see her saving him at that time? And then it was also like night. I guess they're kind of saying like, and then when she brings him up on land, it's like day. I guess that's kind of similar. That's the same as like the movie, I guess. She was just swimming all day to get to land, and then she happens to be where they all are. I don't know. Okay, but I guess that's in the movie. I don't really like, she's not as cute on land. Her hair isn't as cute, and she's not as cute like over him or whatever. But I loved her singing the song over him, super cute. And then Scuttle and Sebastian's interaction, although it was kind of weird, Scuttle like went gay all of a sudden. That was kind of weird, not gonna lie. Obviously Disney has to do that kind of thing. I don't understand why they need to do that. I just don't agree. I think that's silly, but Disney will be Disney these days. Did you know that Walt Disney was a Christian? And if you watch, like, Caleb and I recently watched Little Sleeping Beauty, and in Sleeping Beauty, the fairy godmothers, the little fairies, give the prince the sword of truth and the shield of virtue, and that you need these in righteousness to defeat your enemies. And I just thought that was like, I was like, oh my gosh, the sword of truth, that's the word of God right there. And the shield of virtue, like, what? And it made me think of like spirit and truth, you know? I don't know why it made me think of spirit and truth. It did. To defeat the enemy. Crazy. So cool. But again, Sleeping Beauty was an original movie when Walt Disney was running Disney. Not like these woke folk, you know? So there's that. But I really didn't like that Scuttle was all of a sudden gay. That's kind of weird, unnecessary. But I guess they have to include everybody, which they have to like add that kind of a thing, which they don't need to, but they do. They think they do. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I think there's this one scene when all the men are coming over the land. It looks like Ireland. I'm not quite sure where they're supposed to be, but it's gorgeous. It's like Scotland, Ireland, castle gorgeousness. I'm loving it. Loving the scene when they're coming with their torches. So cute. Over the hills. Loving it. Loving it. And is there anything else? I loved her singing the song. Although she's way cuter underwater. Why is that? Is that just me? She just seems so much cuter underwater. Maybe it was just like a fluke, or this weird scene. It's just a weird angle. Like the camera's like underneath her. So it's just a weird angle kind of. But it was actually also a really cute scene. Like he kind of starts to sort of grab, like go for her hand. I don't know. That was a really cute scene in general. I just wish she looked a little bit cuter. Like the way she does underwater. Like super cute. She's super cute underwater for some reason. And not as cute on land thus far. Yeah, I think that's everything for these few scenes. Okay, I wanted to point this out. It's probably really quick, but as soon as she got back into the water, like all the men were coming with their torches, and she jumps back in the water, she immediately looks way cuter. I don't know why. Like immediately she's in the water, and the next scene she's like poking her head up from the water. So cute. And then she sings the iconic song where she pushes up on the rock and be a part of your world, and then the water splashes up. You know that trend like on TikTok and Facebook, and I've only seen it on YouTube, but I know it's on TikTok too, where people like are in their pool and they sing that part of your world, and then they jump up and the water splashes up. She did that, and it made me think of the TikTok or whatever. It's so funny. I don't have TikTok. I wish I did. I honestly wish I did, but on YouTube, I know they do it on YouTube. So yeah, So funny. It made me think of the thing I was like anticipating. I'm like, oh, she gonna do it, because it's like everybody, it's like that trend. I think the trend is kind of over now, but it was probably like, I don't know, like around the 4th of July, people were doing it in their pools and stuff, and people splashing. It's so funny. It was right when the movie came out. That's what it was. It was right when the movie came out, which was a long time ago. I don't even remember when it came out, but it was a while ago. That's when everybody was doing it, and I couldn't help but laugh when I saw that scene because it made me think of the trend. Anyways, yeah, and now we're back to Ursula again. She's super creepy. Yeah. So we'll see. I think, you know what it is? Why I think she looks cuter underwater? It's because her hair has so much more volume, I think, underneath the water, and it's like poofed up because the water is like, there's no gravity or whatever. Or maybe there is. Obviously there is gravity, but her hair is just poofed up more, and I think that, to me, looks way cuter. I'm sorry. I'm yawning. I must be getting tired. I might have to record the rest tomorrow. But I'm not very far. 25 minutes in or something. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the Ursula scene, I love her little tentacles that are like glow in the dark. The suction cup parts are glow in the dark. That's a really cool touch. I really like that. I don't really like Ursula, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they're being racist a little bit, but it is what it is. Disney has an agenda, and that's just the end of that. And so they're being weird. But I don't know if I like her. Like, she's evil, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just don't like her as a villain. I'm not feeling it. I mean, she's doing a good job being villainous, but like, I just don't like her as a villain, I guess. I don't know why I am. Or maybe I'm just being too sensitive. I don't know. But it is what it is. So we'll see how she goes. She's being very Ursula-like, which is good. What else? It's so funny, like, watching the next scene when she gets the Eric statue. I remember that from the original movie. Like, I didn't remember it. They kind of made a point to show the statue falling to the ground, but I didn't really catch that. I forgot about it from the other movie, and then they showed it in this one. Then she, like, has it standing up in her, like, treasure trove area. And now Sebastian's singing Under the Sea song. So, yeah. Okay, so the whole Under the Sea song, the way I say it, it was amazing. It was so colorful. I loved the jellyfish. One thing that was funny with that, though, was that she, like, pushed it up from underneath, and I think she would be electrocuted, I feel like, with that. But I loved all the colors and the way that they did it. I can't imagine developing. I'm seeing this from a perspective of creating the video myself, because I'm a video creator. I like to create videos, and on my YouTube channel, Georgia Hertzberg, whatever, on YouTube. And so I kind of see this video from a creator perspective, which is interesting talking about it, but just also like just a viewer as well. But anyway, so the whole song was so creative. I loved Under the Sea song, so they did really well with that. And it's so cute how I really like how they use the actual lines a lot of times from the Disney movie. I thought that was super, I just love that. I love that they're keeping the originality of the original Mermaid in a lot of things. I think it's cool that they're taking liberties to do the things that they want to do in the movie as well. It's interesting, I would say. And some things are really good. I really like the liberties that they're taking. And some are like, could do without that. Whatever. There's nothing really that I'm like, oh, I hate. I really haven't seen anything that I hate. And I think I'm really easy to please when it comes to these types of movies. Unless it's super woke and inappropriate and not the Lord. Then I'm like, no, thank you. Like the Scuttle thing. They didn't really need to do that. You know, that's a little inappropriate for a kid's movie, but not a little, it is inappropriate. I'm gonna correct myself. Anyways, so yeah, let's watch the next scene. Okay, so the scene with his mother and Grimsby, I think that's his name, maybe the king's or the prince's right hand person, or maybe the queen's right hand person, I don't know. Grimsby, I think his name is, and he was talking to the queen, la la la, and Eric comes in, he's looking for Ariel, and he is in love with her and wants to find her. They think that she doesn't exist, and they're kind of poking at him with that. And then he says, like, she doesn't want him, the queen doesn't want him to go out, and she's like, he said that, like, reaching out to other cultures so we can help, because he said that something Cain helped with malaria or something. And then the queen is like, well, where is that? It is interesting that he talked about cultures, like other cultures, which is cool. Back in that day, that would have been very, very up front and coming. Like, not everybody was able to do that and travel like that to other lands to find and explore and do other things and learn. So that's really cool. Obviously Disney is again pushing an agenda. I think it's not the agenda itself, like other cultures is like my forte. Like, I love other cultures and hearing about, like, I remember growing up when I studied abroad. The reason I wanted to study abroad was because I loved seeing other cultures and hearing other people's stories and why they are the way they are and why they grew up the way they grew up. And I always found it super fascinating because you could go to Spain. Like, I studied abroad in Spain in college. And you could go to this culture, you could go to Spain, and you could talk to 5 different individuals, and they would be completely different, even within that same culture. Like, you would think, oh, this is the culture, and there may be a baseline of culture, but these people, these 5 people you pick out from a random society are going to be completely different with complete different stories and reasons why they are the way they are, and their different households have a different individual culture based on the big culture that they're in, the big society that they're in, based on the world society as a whole. And so I found that extremely, extremely interesting and fascinating. That's what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, is to travel and hear people's story and just learn from people all over the world. That was my dream. And I remember after college thinking, you know, I want a job where I can go to, all I wanted was a job where I could go from one country to the next, live in different countries for 1 year at a time. I know I wanted to live in New Zealand, and I wanted to live in Sweden and Norway and Denmark. I wanted to live in Africa. I wanted to live in Ethiopia for a year, and South Africa for a year, and Egypt for a year. I wanted to live in China for a year. I wanted to live in Thailand and Bali. I wanted to live all over the world. Seriously, all over the world. The most remote, like, unknown countries to Paris, you know? Paris wasn't that fascinating to me because I studied abroad in Spain and I went and visited. So it wasn't someplace that I would especially want to live, but I would definitely do it had the occasion arise. And I think around that time I was also wanting to teach. All I could think of where I could do something like that was to teach English. And you can live in different countries and you'll stay for a year. And that was something that I was planning on doing right after I graduated college. And then different things happened and I never did that. But that was always one of my dreams, to do that. And honestly, now being where I am now, we're in ministry, that is totally something that we could do in this day and age, because that's the call that God has on our lives, the Great Commission, to go out and preach the gospel to all nations. And so maybe there's a reason that the Lord instilled that in me. And if that's in you, I mean, there's a reason, you know. And it's a gift, because not everybody has this desire to go out all over the world and to talk to strangers all over the world, and strangers that become friends, and then not only just friends but good friends, like people that are learning from you and growing in Christ, and that are in your daily walk with the Lord and you in their daily walk. So anyways, I don't know how I got all on that big tangent, but it is what it is. So that was really cool about the culture. But what I meant to say was, I feel like Disney has a weird agenda where the culture that we live in is not good. That's what they think, or that other cultures are more elite, or that America is racist, or maybe, you know, I don't know. But I feel like they have a malicious intent in their reasoning for putting that in there. And then the mom also talked about, like, the sea gods. She said the sea gods are against us because there's been 6 shipwrecks. Or she said there were 6 shipwrecks in the last year. Obviously, a sea god would be a demon. It's not a god. There's only one God, the true God. And so, yeah, I don't know. They don't need to put that in there. You know, I don't know. No, it's not that I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but they do not need to put that in there. And that's it. So it's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. But it was a really cute scene, and I love the aesthetic. I love the cinematic look that they're putting. It kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, and I am a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, and I love the real one with Johnny Depp. Like, I love that one, and I feel like people are like love or hate with that one, but I love that one so much. And I think it's just like a special quirk. Like, it's a weird, like, you have to kind of be weird to like it, because it's really weird. So there you go. Anyway, okay, let's continue. Okay, so we just had the scene where the sisters are talking about how Ariel's in love. She's distracted, daydreaming, la la la. And their dad overhears it and asks Sebastian, you know, is she in love? And he, you know, breaks down and tells him, Triton, isn't that his name? Oh, a Triton. I forget his name. Triton. Is his name Triton? He carries a Triton. His name isn't Triton. I am completely... Did they call him Zeus? They don't call him Zeus. No, I forget what they call him. I don't know. She calls him daddy. Okay, anyway, so, the whole scene where he gets mad, he goes into her secret room where she has all of her things that are human, and then he destroys it all. And it made me think of something that one of my mentors once told me about. If you force, like, they have a kid, and they wanted their kid to do something. They knew that there was a situation. This kid was adult. He wasn't like a child. He was an adult, but like over 18, but she knew there was something that wasn't really that good for him. But it was still like what you would think would be a good situation, but she knew there was an underlying, like, something that wasn't good about that thing. But any person would think, oh, that's an amazing thing they're doing, la la la. But she saw into the spirit and knew that this wasn't good for her kid. And so she didn't go to her kid directly and be like, this is not good for you, you need to not do this. But she just prayed, and the Lord told her kid himself, like the Lord himself told her kid what is going on, and that there was something wrong with that situation. And then the kid ended up leaving and not being in that situation, but on their own or whatever. And so that is like really, really cool. Like, for me, that speaks volumes. But the thing is, as a parent, that's really hard to sit back and wait while you see your kid maybe being in a situation where you wouldn't necessarily want them to, but you need to let the Lord talk to them. And the reason what that is that even if you command your kid to not do something, like he destroys all of her things and says never leave again, he's like forcing this on her, but he can't physically keep her in one place and control her in that way, and no parent can. So it doesn't change the heart of the situation. Like, Ariel is still in love with Eric. Ariel is still in love with humans in general. It's just who she is. And it reminds me of also of like Moana. Like, in the movie Moana, like, she loves the water and she wants to be in the water, but her dad only lets her be on land. And in this case, her dad only lets her be in the water and doesn't let her be on land. And so both these situations don't change the heart posture. Both parents tried to make their kids do what they wanted to, but in the end it didn't work out, and the kids ended up rebelling and running away in these situations. So I feel like, I don't really have the full answer, except, well, I guess maybe I do. I think I don't have the answer in the meantime of what to do except to pray. The only thing I can think of is that we can only, as parents, pray for our kids that they would make good decisions, but not only that, more so that they would hear the Holy Spirit of what they should do and have a conviction in their hearts to make right decisions. And from there can be transformation and change, and they can make a decision on their own. But we have to, as parents, trust that they can hear the Holy Spirit themselves. But before that, they can hear the Holy Spirit, before they can make a good decision, we need to teach them as parents in the way that they should go. The Bible talks about how if you teach a kid, in the Psalms, if you teach a kid, they'll remember it in their old age. If you teach the kid the Word of God, your kid, the Word of God, and truth and righteousness, they will remember it in their old age. Even if there's a time in their life where they, quote unquote, forget it or don't pay attention to it, they still will know it down the road in their life. And so, we need to be praying that they would hear the Holy Spirit, and that hear the Lord themselves, and go in the way that the Holy Spirit would have them go. Anyways, I was just thinking, it doesn't change her heart. He destroyed everything and commanded her not to leave. And in the same way, at the same time, Eric's mom commanded Eric not to leave the castle. And he was bound to the castle. So very interesting situation, and I really like everything that's come up. There's like it feels like, yes, we all know the story of the Little Mermaid, but like it feels like drama. Like there's a lot of drama happening at the same time as Ariel is sneaking off to the human world. You know, Ursula is plotting this horrible plan, and at the same time Eric is above sea, you know, looking for her and wanting to be with her, and she's also like seeing him and wanting to be with him. And then there's all these things in between that are getting in the way. Sebastian, Dad, Ursula, the eels, you know, all the things. Eric's parents, you know. Very interesting. Very interesting. It feels more like alive, no pun intended, than the cartoon one. It's kind of fun. Okay. So it's the scene with Ursula, and she's like trying to trick her to give her voice, and she mentions there's a second time that someone has mentioned, I can't remember if it was Sebastian that said siren song, but the siren, like, with, I think the lore of a siren is like it leads men. I don't know. I've watched some mermaid movies, so this could be completely wrong. This is probably just from the movies. It's not real. It might be real. It might not be real. What I understand a siren is like it leads men to their death, or it leads men, like it lures men in, is the voice. I don't know if it's to their death, or I don't know. Some people like turn it to be like evil or scary or whatever. But the lore, I think, of a mermaid is like the siren lures men in or whatever, which obviously it did with Eric, which is probably what they were getting at in the original Disney movie. But they don't ever say siren song, but they do say that trigger word, like siren song. And for me, it seems a little dark, the siren, when you say it like that. For me, maybe I've seen a movie or two where it's a negative connotation, maybe, or maybe it's just the term itself. I'm not quite sure. It's very interesting that they mention it, and it kind of threw me off. Yeah, it just kind of turned, like, it threw me off a little bit, and it was kind of like a weird, yeah, like, it was a weird, it sounds evil to me. Okay, so let me see, like, what Google says. Mermaids, like, how to describe a siren, like, from a mermaid. Mermaids are half fish, half women who live in the ocean and are typically harmless. Sirens are like evil mermaids. They come in different forms depending on the interpretation, but generally sirens are depicted in the form of a mermaid. Sirens are known for singing enchanting songs to lure sailors to their death. See, that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, but I don't know if Google's, I mean, this was the first thing that popped up. Yeah. In Greece, the 6th century BC, in early Greek mythology, sirens were half women, half bird creatures, and are often confused with mermaids. This misconception has led to the word siren being used instead of mermaid, such as siren in French. Sirens are usually deadly creatures associated with enchanting melodies, whereas mermaids are mer people, are not threatening on the whole. Okay, so they're saying that a siren is an evil version of a mermaid, but they're not the same thing. Yeah, it's like sirens are associated with lust and the danger of temptation. Weird. This is like, I don't know. Anyways, all that to say, I knew siren was an evil thing, and that's what Google is saying. So that must be kind of what it is with like the Greek mythology, the lore behind a siren versus a mermaid, and maybe some people are saying that mermaids are different than sirens. Who knows? Maybe a siren is a version of a bad mermaid. Okay, so she got her legs from Ursula. That whole scene was really trippy, creepy, manipulative, all the things, but that's what it is. But it was just interesting to watch. It was good. They did a good job. And then now she has legs. Sebastian was really cute, and he goes when they come up on land or on the water, when she has her legs now and she's a human, she can breathe. He was like, well, let's just figure this out. You either sink or swim now. You have to do it, so you don't belong to Ursula. And so he sets out to help her immediately, which is really cute. And then when the fisherman catches her, it's a little weird that they made it, obviously she's going to be naked. And in the movie, in the original, she's on land, and nobody finds her. Well, I think Eric's right-hand man finds her or something. Maybe Eric finds her, I can't remember. But in this case, a fisherman finds her and she's naked. I mean, luckily they made it where let's cover you up or whatever. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a weird situation to have her and somebody find her and she's naked. That's weird. I don't know. That was a little unsettling in a way. Like, they didn't have to do it like that, but they chose to, whatever. And then when she's on land, it's like they're in Jamaica, which is kind of cool. It's interesting. Like, she's like the people there, like she's Jamaican, which is cool. And then she's singing in her head, and that's really cute. I like the way they did that. Like, it's still a musical, and she's trying to figure out how to stand and figure out this world, and it's so completely different, but she can't even talk. It's so interesting. I don't know, it's good. The next scene that I'm talking about is when she comes into the castle and they're dressing her and getting her ready, and then the maids were talking about how Eric won't rest until he's found the girl, and then Ariel looks at them like in shock, and then one of the maids goes to get Eric. He thinks it's her and realizes she can't talk, and then Eric realizes it's not her. Honestly, I was getting really into the movie, forgot I was even podcasting about it, and I felt super sad for her. Like, she's completely stuck. He doesn't want anything to do with her at this point because she doesn't talk and she's not the girl, la la la, and now she's like stuck here, and there's no way to like figure it out because he's not interested in her, knowing she's not the girl, or thinking she's not the girl. Very interesting. I feel like I'm watching this, all of a sudden I feel like I'm watching this movie, not all of a sudden, I think it's been growing on me, that I feel like I'm watching this movie for the first time again. And so, yeah, it is very interesting. I do feel like I'm watching the movie for the first time now, and it's really, really good. Really enjoying it. So, there. Okay, I'm really, really getting into this movie now, and I keep forgetting to podcast about it. She started exploring. She's feeling hopeless, but now Sebastian came in. Oh, Everest is up now. Bless you. So, yeah, Sebastian decided to come help her. He was like, you're hopeless, but I don't want you to be miserable for the rest of your life. Why did you do that? I don't want you to be miserable, so I'm going to help you. So he decided to help her. She was glad, but then she keeps forgetting that you know, she can't, that she has to give him a kiss or whatever. And so they both fall asleep, and then Scuttle comes in, you know, and he has to go find her because she runs away, like goes to explore, and she explores in his like den, like where his library is, where Eric keeps all of his stuff, and she knows all about all the things, and it's so cute. Like, I'm really like, I love how they're able to start bonding about the things of the sea, because she knows all about the sea, and he doesn't really know anything about underneath like she does, although he loves voyages and he loves all those things and has all the things that she knows all about. And like, I love how she cracked open that rock and there was like the gems. It was like I forget what kind of rock that is. It's like I forget, but she cracked it open and there was gems inside, and she knew it was in there. It was just so funny. He was like, no, don't, and then she does it, and there's gems inside. How cool is that? And then the shell, and she like blows in it, and then he blows in it. He can't do it. I don't know. It's so cute. It's starting to be like really, really cute for me. We're like halfway. No, we're over halfway. What does that say? I think we're an hour and a half in, and we have an hour left. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. I don't know. It's really interesting. I'm actually really getting into it. Whereas before I was kind of like not as much into it as I am now. Like, I'm really starting to love it. And it's kind of different than the original movie, which I am enjoying more than I was before. Like, the differences were okay before, but I was wanting it to be more original in the beginning. But now that it's turning out the way it is, I love this interaction especially. I think this is my favorite scene so far, of them two interacting, and her like showing him different things that she knows, and him showing things of his voyages. I really like this scene, so I'm really getting into it, and I love it. I love her curiosity. I feel like in this movie they have taken her curiosity and like turned it on to like 100. I love, like, of course she would be super curious because she's never been in this world before, and so she's very curious, like looking all around, and I love that they've portrayed her like that, and I love that they brought it way higher. They turned it up, and she's super curious and bold and ostentatious and just really cool, and I really like her, and I'm excited. I don't know, I just really like their story unfolding, and I really like him, and I like them together, la la la. And I think it's cute that Sebastian's like, when it comes to romance, these two are snails, and so we need to turn it up a bit. And that's really cute. I thought that was fun. And so they're going to take it into their own hands. I think they're going to the lagoon now, so it's about to get good. It's already been good, but it's getting better. So, don't mind Everest. He might talk a little bit. He's eating some lunch, so he might say a few things here and there, but yeah. Okay, so we just watched the scene, Kiss the Girl scene. I know, and Everest is saying, oh no, because the last scene we saw was where Ursula is she's making a potion. She's gonna take everything into her own tentacles, and so it was a really cute scene how they were like, I'm gonna kiss the girl, like or to kiss the girl. That was like really cute. It was fun to see it in real people. Like, it wasn't too like raunchy or anything. It was very innocent, very sweet, the way that they did it, very cute. I love that about it. It was really cute how Eric really wanted to kiss her, but it's interesting how she's almost indifferent in the way she's acting towards him, but maybe it's part of the spell that they're trying to portray that Ursula put on her, that she forgets to kiss, but she's just so enthralled with being in the human world. Yeah. I don't know. That's a little like, oh, like I wish she would be like more, because she like loves him, you know, so she wants to be more towards him and with him, but she's a little just captivated by the world around her and is forgetting like she needs to kiss him. And then, but I like that they followed the book or followed the movie with the eels dumping them over, and that was really cute. I loved that. And Ursula making the potion was like really dramatic and fun. Everest and I both enjoyed that a lot. How the tentacles kind of have their own minds and they'll go and find stuff and show it to her, and then it's comical the way that and then she's like, oh, you know, I found it. It was just like floating through the water or whatever. That was good. I think they did a good job. I like that for sure. I like the way that they portrayed when he was confused. He was confused about Ariel and the mystery girl. And then when he was confused in the night and he heard her song, her voice, and then she was there by the water, and then he was under a trance. I thought they did a marvelous job. That was very good. I like the way that they did that, and that he found her in a mysterious way, just the way that she was by him by the water when she saved him or whatever, but it, you know, it's Ursula instead. But just very interesting. I think they did a great job, and I think it really just hypes everything up. And I think, again, I feel like I'm watching a new movie, even though it's a movie we all know. I feel like I'm waiting to find out what's next, even though I already know, you know. The rap with Scuttle and Sebastian, no. That was super, super cringe. I feel like they forced that 100%. It was forced. Wasn't good. Super cheesy. Whatever. Not cute. So, sorry to be a downer on that. They tried, but I feel like that was a flop on when it comes to the rap that they did about the gossip and about what everybody is saying. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm missing a part of the movie. I pushed it forward. Yeah, I just feel like that wasn't a move. It wasn't what I don't know. It wasn't my favorite song, but it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like, it doesn't ruin the movie necessarily. It was just like, oh, okay, kind of thing. So, sorry, I'm just trying to find back where I was, because I accidentally hit a button. So, yeah. Okay, next. So I got to the point where Ursula's reveal of her new form, when she has her voice, Ariel's voice. She's not as cute. She's cuter in the dark when they reveal her. In person, she's not as cute. Whatever. But it was interesting the way they portray it. Like, the voice is only in the necklace. She had the necklace off, and when she puts it back on, that's when she can talk. Really interesting. She has to like have, otherwise it's not her voice. Except she also spoke in her Ursula voice, even when she had the necklace on, which is an interesting way of doing it. And then when she looked in the mirror, she was Ursula, and that's how Scuttle knew. I think in the original movie, Scuttle also finds her, which is good. Like, they're keeping a little bit to the script, which again is good, but I have taken like in the liberties that they've taken. I did want to point out that her hair is like super, like way more red in when she's on land. Like underwater it's like more brown, but on land her hair is super red when she's like a human. which I find interesting. But I guess when you're underwater, your hair is darker. So they wanted to probably make her hair super red on land. I love that she's singing in her head at this point, which is so cute. I love that they're still like keeping to the musical, but she's singing on land, like in her head. Yeah, it's really good so far. I just want to watch it. I'm so into it right now. Okay, I moved to the couch. Sorry if the microphone is making noises. I wanted to get more cozy and watch this movie comfortably instead of sitting up at the island. And I'm really, really into it. I just want to know what's going to happen. And Ariel's going to figure out, I don't know, she like swam off the rock. I don't know what she's doing. And then like Flounder is going to tell her dad everything. And then Sebastian and Scuttle are going to like distract. This movie is like a new movie. I know I keep saying it, but it's like a new movie. Like I feel like I don't know what's going to actually happen because they take different liberties that I'm really starting to like. So I'm really starting to enjoy it. And yeah, I love the way that Eric is like, it's just, it makes the plot really, really good when he's like so confused like that. Like, oh, you're rooting for Ariel so much. You're like, oh, come on, girl. Like, I don't know. The suspense is killing me. And it's just Little Mermaid. Okay, I'm coming back. I'll be back. Ooh wee. It is a little dark. I'm not gonna lie. It's creepy. Borderline creepy. I'll tell you that. Yeah. When she turns back into a mermaid, super good. Ursula turns back into an octopus or whatever she is, and like the reaction of the crowd at the kingdom is crazy good, and the queen's reaction so good. It was interesting to see like them at the castle instead of like out on a ship. It was a different aspect when Ursula took her. And then I love the father's reaction, like gave the trident over, and it was interesting. It was like kind of dark, like the eels were like electrocuting Ariel and stuff, and then electrocuting the dad, and it looked like they like killed him kind of, which I feel like is a little too dark for kids. Because it looks like they electrocuted him like way so much that he died and like shriveled up into like ashes, which I feel like is too much. I feel like that's too much for what I would want my kids to watch. But Ursula's super dark. She said like the word brat, which I don't really know that I like that word. For kids to watch, for me, whatever, but you know what I mean. For people, it's fine. It's not bad. But for kids, I feel like, I don't like that. I don't want my kids calling other kids brats. I think that's, no. Yeah. It's so good. It's like, I didn't even want a podcast, but I didn't want to miss this part. It's so good. And then Eric sliced her, and her skin or her like blood was blue or whatever, like it opened up blue, which was interesting. Very much like the book, I feel like, or the movie, sorry. And Eric's trying to get into his boat, and then they pull him down, very much like the original. Excuse me. So good. It's so good. I'm loving it. The whole fight scene, so good. When Ursula gets humongous, she kills her own baby eel, her own eels, instead of Eric, and then gets huge. And then fights. I didn't like that Ariel is the one that kills Ursula. I think it's more like the original book is Eric doing it. I think that's how it should be. I don't really think Ariel should have done it. I don't think they should have changed it so she's the hero. I think it should have stuck with Eric doing it. I think that's better. Definitely better. He's supposed to save her. That's a fairy tale, honestly, but whatever. They wanted to take liberties, women power, their own agenda. You know how they are, woke city, whatever. It's not good, but it's fine. It could happen, I guess. So I didn't really like that she did it. I would rather Eric do it, but it was, I like that they did the same thing where it was by a boat, like the tip of a boat, and stabbed her or whatever. When she goes to Eric's safe on the land, on the water, she goes to get the trident, and then her dad comes back to life. And which in the original movie, the dad comes back to life, but all the people come back to life. They didn't really show all the people coming back to life from being what they were, little plants or whatever she made them into, like sea urchin, sea thing, creatures. I wish they would have showed them all come back to life, but they only showed the dad. And then she's like, you gave your life to me, and then he said you gave your life to fight back. She said you gave your life up for me, which reminds me of Jesus, which is good. And he said you gave your life to fight back for me. And the dad is so stubborn. He's like, but you belong at home. As long as it matters that you're safe in your home where you belong. And she doesn't say anything. So there's still like 24 minutes left. So I guess we'll go from there. But she doesn't say anything. She just said, Eric fought with me. I didn't fight alone. And then he says, all that matters is you're safe in your home where you belong. And then she doesn't say anything. I don't know. I don't like that she didn't say anything, but we'll see. What something's gonna happen. It'll be good. Okay, so I just got done crying. Oh my gosh, it was such a good ending. So if I sound like I'm crying, I am, and I was. So I'm not like crying right now, but it's kind of left over. It was so good. I feel like I'm gonna keep crying, so I'm gonna try to speak. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So where was I? Oh, she was like, they kind of went back to their own worlds and stayed there for a little bit. Both parents were like, this is how it needs to be, but both were miserable. So then Ariel was like sitting on a rock looking at the castle, and King Triton, I think maybe that's his name, King Triton. I don't know why I keep thinking that's not his name, but it must be. Carrie's a Triton, but his name is King Triton? I don't know. Anyways, the king ended up giving her her legs back to keep. And when I thought about it, I was like, oh my gosh, the dad could have given it to him the whole time. She didn't have to go to the witch. And I think sometimes we feel like that on earth, where we feel like, oh, the Lord isn't giving this to me, so I'm gonna make it happen. And it's usually by like weird manipulative ways, or lying, or forcing something that's not really supposed to be, which I'm sorry, by means that are not the Lord, potentially evil. And so, but the Lord has the ability to give it to us, but he'll give it to us in the right time. And just reminded me of that. And then she goes and meets him at the castle. Oh my gosh, such a cute meeting. And then the wedding send-off type deal. well, they never really got married. Well, I guess she was wearing the ring, so maybe they did. And then they're just showing like a send off on the land. That was super cute. And then when they got in the boat, she was like wanting to say goodbye to everybody, but then they just got in the boat because nobody was there. Obviously, her family wasn't there. And they got in the boat, and then she turns around and her dad's there. And she thanked him. This is the part where I started crying. She thanked him for hearing him. And he said, you shouldn't have had to lose your voice for me to hear you. And in that moment, I just started bawling. Probably because I felt like my voice, like I lost my voice in a really hard season in the past. And just certain things that happened made me feel very vulnerable and insecure. A lot of demonic things happened, and I think where I was very confident before, very sure of myself in the Lord, those traumatic things kind of I just felt like I lost my voice, my standing, my footing in the Lord, my strength in the Lord. And I feel like it's kind of coming back. And then just those words, you shouldn't have had to lose your voice for me to hear you. I think it speaks to a lot of women, a lot of I just think it speaks to our generation and people when it comes to like the enemy trying to steal, kill, and destroy our generation. But there's something we need to say as a generation. There's something that we're crying out for, and it's Jesus. But there's more to it. I really believe it's Jesus. But there's something that we're wanting to say and do and be, and we shouldn't have to lose our voice for us to be heard. So like I feel like that saying like for something horrible, what am I trying to say? As a generation, we shouldn't have to lose what we have, or I think it's mostly saying like we shouldn't have to give up everything or the thing that's most valuable to us to be heard. That we should be able to be heard, and to be confident in what we're saying. I think that's what I'm saying as a generation. My personal reason for this is a little different, because it sometimes feels like our generation is not being heard in a way. So I think that's what I'm saying. And it was really sweet when he sends her off and pushes her, and then her whole community is there for her. And I liked the part where she told Flounder and Sebastian and Scuttle that she would be back by the next coral moon. Like she gets to go back, like hinting that she gets to go back routinely to visit family and friends. But one thing that I just like really connected with the dad was like he kept saying like there's only one more problem before he gave her her legs, is how much I'm gonna miss my little one. And his accent is so cute. It was so cute. And I just like I can't imagine my kid going off and doing something else and not being right there by you. But I know all parents have to deal with that. That's so sad to even think about, but it's a thing. So yes, all in all, it was super, super good. There's a little wokeness in there, which I'm not a fan of, but I can look past it and enjoy it as an art piece, as a entertainment piece. It's really, really good overall. I would definitely watch it again. It's super cute, super good. I'm not sure if I would let my kids watch it necessarily, even though it's Disney. I think I feel better about the cartoon over this. This is a little dark in pieces, and they use some language I don't like. So I'm not really going to recommend that to kids, but as an adult, it's fine. You can spit out the bones, woke bones, and other demonic things. But overall, I definitely would rate this like a 9 out of 10. Super good. 8, 9 out of 10. Maybe 9 out of 10. It's super good. Overall, really, really good. I loved it. Good storyline. I kept me on my toes, even though I know the story, everybody knows the story, but they added their own spin on things, which was really good. And it was fun to see how they created it in that way. Anyways, that's all I have. Hope you enjoyed. Please follow and check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you feel like it. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Please subscribe, leave a review, and we'll see you next week.